And tonight, a special Hannity investigation into a very new and dangerous and disturbing trend that is happening in several states across the U.S. The, quote, knockout game involves groups of young men targeting random strangers on the street. Now, in most cases, one of the teens decides to attack a passerby, usually with a punch, and to show that he can knock down the victim with ease. Now, New York authorities are now saying that a recent series of attacks seems to be targeting Jewish residents specifically, and they're considering prosecuting the assaults as hate crimes. And while the so-called game has caused severe injuries and deaths in some cities, the young men involved reportedly just do it, quote, for the fun of it. Pretty sick, pretty disturbing. Here with reaction, former NYPD Detective Bo Dietl, criminal defense attorney Remy Spencer. Years ago in Times Square, correct me, Bo, if I'm wrong, they were literally, the gangs were initiating people by going up to strangers and slicing their faces, right?
That was the Bloods and the Crips were involved with that. Also, there was, if you had to go shoot somebody. But this thing, again, it's being suppressed by the news media. The liberal news media doesn't want to say exactly what it is. It's gangs of black youths attacking whites. It's called polar bear hunting. It's called Jews being targeted, and that's exactly what it is.
So you think it's race and religion? I'm asking.
Absolutely, it's a race-based thing. It's the black youths against a white individual. Not even just a man. It's against women and defenseless people, and they hit them in the face and they try to knock them out. People have been killed. My problem is they got to take this crime and they got to categorize it the way it's supposed to be categorized.
And you're saying it's a racial, religious hate crime. And by the way, they're doing this and then they videotape it and they're even putting it online.
It's black on white crime. That's racist.
I agree. I agree with Bo completely. You know, I'm embarrassed to say that I was not familiar with knockout game as a term. Obviously, we remember the gang initiations you were talking about, the stupid, mindless crime. But this is groups of primarily African-American young men who are targeting an individual based on the color of their skin, primarily white people, females, as Bo said, or as it was reported today in New York, Jewish people. And the goal, the point of the game is to knock somebody down with one punch. Yeah. People have been killed. They will be prosecuted.
So they're giving it their best shot. And by the way, for those that may say, well, how are they targeting Jews? There are a lot of Orthodox Jewish people in New York.
But defenseless, also the females, white males are being attacked by black gangs. Let's say it like it is. People want to clear it up. There's no clearing it up. That's something that you're
saying it's underreported. You're saying we're not hearing what the real story is.
I agree. I agree with that because I think people in today's society are too politically correct and afraid to talk about violence from black people on white people. But if you reverse it, we look at the George Zimmerman trial. That got national attention, not just because a young man died, but because of the race issue. I think media outlets are afraid of reporting this kind of crime.
People have to protect themselves. The news media should let people know this is going on. You see a gang of young blacks coming in. Here we go, Red. The stereotypes, all the anti-racial stuff comes out. If you see a gang of kids walking by, be careful. Put your guard up. Let people know you're attacking.
You're saying that they're targeting people that
for the color of their skin.
The color of their skin. Are they hitting children too, as well as women?
Yes.
And men.
And you know what? We're not speculating here. We're not guessing. They're posting these things on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. In one that I reviewed before coming on your show tonight, one of the black young men who did this, his caption was, "That white girl bleed a lot." There has been a book published with that title talking about this kind of knockout game. So we know that the evidence is there, and it's up to law enforcement to prosecute them for this serious crime.
Remember when we had the chain snatchers and all that? What I'm afraid of, this thing is getting into its own life. Everybody thinks it's, quote, a game and it's cool, and they post it on the internet. You know what? People have to know what's going on. The police department have to categorize it as what it is. It's attacks by young black youths against Caucasians.
We have the ability to trace where every one of those videos was posted from. They ought to investigate every one of them.
Absolutely. And the detectives, you know, I mean, these kids are really silly in the sense that they're videotaping themselves. They're stupid, but people have to be careful and be aware. Don't be sucker punched like that.
All right, guys, good to see you both.